I get a lot of questions about my morning routine. What do I do in the morning and how do I become a productive person? So this is a video about this in 6 steps. My morning routine is 6 steps and I do it pretty much every morning unless I'm feeling really tired or really lazy or really busy. And it starts with 2 minutes of stretching, 3 minutes of a breathing exercise that I'll get to, 3 minutes I'm focusing on things that I feel grateful for, 3 minutes of a body scan that I'm relaxing my body in, 3 minutes of something I call celebrating in advance, and then the last step is another like gratitude, positive kind of thing where I picture people smiling. So I do these 6 steps. It's a total of 15 minutes. And I'm using an interval timer, like anything you can have for exercise, just to do this. And the first step is 2 minutes of stretching. And the key for me is this because I believe that stretching is not fun. But when I ask myself, do I want to stretch right now? I often find like, yeah, it would be nice to stretch my neck. It would be nice to stretch my shoulders. So I don't have a specific program that I'm using. I'm just moving around whatever feels good right now, and I'm not holding any position long. When I get bored of a position, I change it, and I'm just doing this for 2 minutes every morning just to move around and get some movement into my body. And pretty much the only movement I do regularly is called cat-cow position, and if you just Google cat-cow, hopefully you will not find pictures of the cats and cows, but actually that position and how to do that one. So that's the first step, and I do it for 2 minutes. The second step is something that I learned from Tony Robbins. And if you don't know Tony Robbins, Google him as well. He's brilliant and I've learned so much from him. And it's a 3-minute breathing exercise called Breath of Fire. And it starts with breathing very intensely with your nose, trying to push as much air out as possible through your nose, like this. And I do that for 30 breaths. And after that, I do 5 very slow breaths. Like, and when I've done 5 of those, I start over and I do 30 really fast ones, 5 slow ones, 30 fast ones, 5 slow ones. And all in all, this takes about 3 minutes. And I'm starting with this because oxygenating your body is usually the the most efficient way of getting energy. I think of it this way, that food is something we usually use when we want energy. It's like, I just need to eat to get energy. But I believe that food is something you can be without for like 3 days. So you can probably last your energy without food for quite some time. Water, on the other hand, is something we preferably can just be without for a few hours. So water is probably a bigger resource for energy than food is. It's more urgent. But oxygen, we can barely be without it for a minute. So by oxygenating our body, it gives a faster energy boost and a more important one. So that's why I start with breathing. And do this for 3 minutes. And the third step that I'm going into is gratitude practice. And I'm doing this because a lot of meditation is about just close your eyes, don't think of anything. If a thought pops up, just let it slip. And that simply doesn't work for me. If a thought pops up, I'm grabbing onto that, I'm holding that thought, I'm not letting it go. I'm just not good with that, and I'm not good with just sitting still. So instead, I'm doing the complete opposite. I'm trying to focus my thoughts, and I'm trying to focus them and think as clearly as possible, but only on things that I really want to think about. So I tell my brain, think about things that you feel grateful for. And I usually start with, what am I grateful for right now? What am I feeling that is a positive feeling? And right now, the first thing that comes to mind is I have this pillow behind my back, and it feels really supportive and nice when I'm sitting here. So I can sit and just focus on how nice that support feels. And then I'm asking myself, how does this gratitude feel? And I feel it in my chest. I feel like, this is gratitude. And then what else am I grateful for? And the first thing that pops up now is my fiance Johanna. She's behind the camera, and I'm very thankful for her being here and supporting me and filming me and doing this. And I find that gratitude in my chest, and I keep going. And the next thing that I come up with is just the feeling of drinking cold water. I did that just before this video, and it feels really nice to drink cold water. And you see, I just picture it now and I find myself smiling. So I'm doing a kind of meditation, but it's the complete opposite to not thinking. I'm thinking as much as possible, but only on things that make me feel good. And that way, the other thoughts, they can't really get in there because I'm focusing on feeling good. And sure, sometimes I start feeling about things that I'm worried about. Sometimes other things pop up. But when I catch myself, I find it a lot easier to start directing it to positive things than it is to just let go of other things. So I do this for 3 minutes, and that's the third step in my morning practice. The fourth step is a body scan. So I'm sitting for 3 minutes and I'm just feeling what's going on in my body. And I usually start from the head, and I usually find that I have tension around the back of my head, and I try to relax that. Then I go to my cheeks, and I often find that I have tension in my cheeks, and I sit and I relax that for a bit. And I relax the area between my eyes and go down, and I often find tension in my throat. I take a deep breath and I relax my throat, and I go to my chest and I feel that, I'm not really relaxed there either. I can take a deeper breath, and I keep going down my stomach, around my pelvis, my thighs. And I do this for 3 minutes, looking for places in my body where I feel tension or where I feel pain. And I try to send positive feelings or love into those areas and just simply relax them. And sometimes I go about this, and when I feel relaxed, I picture a wave of positive energy just going through my body. And how would that feel if my body just were light? And that might sound fuzzy. It is fuzzy, it might be tricky to do, but to me it helps, and I like the fuzziness about it. And then a bell rings after 3 minutes again, and I move on to the second last step, the fifth step, which I'm calling celebrating in advance. And this is basically the opposite of worrying. So when you're worrying about something, you're thinking about something that might happen in the future, and then you feel pain for it right now. It's a really shitty strategy. You're thinking about something that probably is not going to happen, but just to be sure, you feel shitty for it right now. So I'm trying to do the opposite. I'm thinking about something that might happen in the future and how wonderful that would feel if it does. And one thing that comes to my mind right now is that I'm picturing this house that we're planning to build and how it will feel to walk into the entrance. And I want to have a window with light very early on so you can see right through that, because it means I'm looking forward to that. And I'm picturing how it will feel to walk into that. I'm celebrating that feeling already now, probably 3 years before I even have that house. And how would it feel to see this? What emotion would it give me? Would I smile? Usually I find myself smiling. And then I keep going to other things that I might be worried about. Like one situation, I'm having someone at work I need to talk to, and that's going to be a tough conversation. And I'm picturing myself walking out from that meeting and just feeling, this went really, really well. And how would that feel? How would it feel if that thing you're worried about just solves itself? And I go through my mind looking for things that I can celebrate in advance. Either something that I'm worried about and how it would feel if it just turns out good, or just something that will be good in the future. And I'm doing this for another 3 minutes. And after that, the bell rings and I'm going into the last step, which I don't really have a name for, but let's call it picture people smiling. And you probably heard the expression that smiling is contagious. And if you see someone without a smile, give them one of yours. And this is pretty much what this part is about. For 1 minute, I sit and I picture a friend or a family member or maybe someone from work just smiling. What does it look like when they're smiling? And I'm wishing them a good day. And as you can see now, I just start smiling, just seeing that in front of me. I'm sending those positive vibes to them. And then I'm doing the same thing to someone that I haven't seen in a long time. Maybe someone from a football team when I was a kid, or someone back in my high school class. And this is complete bro science. It's not backed up by any science I've read anywhere, But I imagine that makes, I'm sending positive feelings back in time to maybe childhood me or someone else who needed it. And I picture that person smiling and I'm wishing them a good day, and I feel that smile myself as well. And every morning when I'm doing this, I'm trying to come up with people that I haven't wished a good day before. So I'm continuously looking for more people and trying to spread smiles to them. So this is the 6-step morning routine that I aim to do every morning. I don't, but I do it frequently. And all in all, it takes 15 minutes. First step was stretching, 2 minutes of stretching. Second step, 3 minutes of intense breathing. Third step, 3 minutes of focusing on gratitude. What am I grateful for? Fourth step was scanning through my body, looking for tension, sending positive feelings into those parts of my body, starting from the top, going to the toes. Fifth step, celebrating in advance. Whatever you're worried about, whatever you wish would happen, how would it happen how would it feel if that happened in the best way possible? And the sixth step, seeing people smile, picturing two people smiling in front of you. And this has been the only meditation routine that I've managed to stay with and do simply because I enjoy doing it. And it means the world to me. And you see, you're sitting here talking about it, I smile. So give it a try. Please let me know in the comments how it went. And please give tips to other meditation routines that you have or that you've read about that you think that people should try. So thank you so much for watching.